On an average day, I had around 8 hours of screen time. On a bad day, it went up to even 11 hours or more. 5 hours I spent purely on Insta and TikTok. But with trial and error, and with a lot of failing and relapsing, I was finally able to quit scrolling, to reduce my screen time, and I feel better than ever. My name is Marco. Like I said, I went from being a total scrolling addict to never scrolling again. I was bad at school. I had bad grades. I wasn't productive. I wasn't focused. I had bad attention span. I had bad social skills. And my sleep was fucked. But with trial and error, with a lot of failing, I was finally able to develop my 5 pillars of quitting, and with that I was finally able to stop scrolling entirely, reduce my screen time to under 2 hours, and feeling better than ever. And I will teach you the same. During my time, I relapsed a lot, I failed a lot. But why do we fail? Why do we relapse? I would say the first thing is we are very emotional creatures. Us human beings, most of our decisions are through emotions. If you are feeling happy, if you are feeling fulfilled in life, the whole day feels good. You feel good about yourself. Every action you take feels good. And then you reflect your emotion in your action. If you feel happy, you are most likely doing good stuff, good habits. But if you feel sad, if you have negative emotions, like feeling lonely, you feel sad or anger, you will reflect your emotion with your actions. This could be by doing bad habits and by scrolling. If you're having a bad day and if you're feeling like in a rut, you are at your most vulnerable position to relapse. The next thing is your mental health. If you have great mental health, you won't relapse. You won't fall into the temptation of scrolling. But if you, of course, have bad mental health, you will. And the last thing is temptation. Nowadays, you can grab your phone and with one click, you're onto the app and you can waste hours upon hours. There's no friction, there's no stop sign to warn you. You can access all the bad habits instantly. This is bad because if you have a bad day and doing bad habits is instantly, you're more likely to do it. Then of course there is lack of planning and organization in your life. If you, for example, have an unstructured life, if you wake up and don't know what to do each day, then you're more likely to get bored and you're more likely to fill your boredom or stop boredom with scrolling because you do too little things or you don't know what to do because you're not organized, have no plan, have no to-do list. And the last thing why we relapse is peer pressure. If you, for example, have a friend group who scrolls, who does bad habits, then you're so more likely to do those habits too, because you're the average of your friend group. So how do we deal with relapse? First of all, we are humans. We make mistakes, but how you are reacting to those mistakes is crucial. There's 2 ways of reacting to failing. The first one is you fail and you beat yourself up on it. You say to yourself, I'm useless, I failed again, I will never be able to stop. There's the second way to deal with failing. This is, you say to yourself, failing is part of the process. Because if you fail, you gain knowledge. You can identify why you fail. You can learn why you failed. You can identify your triggers. For example, this could be you notice, I scrolled because I have the app still on my phone. Or, I scrolled because I was bored. So, with that knowledge, you can implement new things. Like you could delete the apps, you could make a plan so you're less bored. Or you realize, I have shitty mental health, so I realized. So you need to, for example, fix your mental health. And fixing your mental health is quite easy. You can do this with a 4-step plan in 14 days. The 4 steps are quite easy. The first is gaining knowledge with reading. Then is training your mind with meditation, training your body with exercise, any kind of exercise that you find enjoyable, that gives you happiness. And the last thing is journaling. Do those 4 steps each day for 14 days and you will feel better than ever. If you want a full guide on how to fix your mental health and of course how to fix your scrolling addiction, click the link in the description. The next thing with dealing with relapse is you need to realize a concept. For example, Newton's first law. Newton's first law states, an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. What this means in our real life is, if you fall back, if you start to scroll, you must realize that now you have a negative force. And this negative force, this negative momentum will make it that you will fall down. You will go down a negative spiral and fall into a rut. So you need to push it with positive momentum. This could be as simple as doing exercise, as speaking or hanging out with friends, going outside for a walk, doing push-ups, reading, doing meditation, or something, just some good habits that has positive momentum. If you constantly relapse, if you constantly fall back into scrolling, you need to do a detox. One day without your phone, or up to 2 weeks without your phone. And after that period of time, you will have it so much easier to stop scrolling. So now, how to avoid relapsing? The first thing we talked about already, it's fixing your mental health with the 4th step in 14 days. The next thing is you need to build a solid foundation. And what I mean by that is you need to find out your why. Why do you want to stop scrolling? And you need to go as deep as possible. For example, first you say, it's bad for me. Alright, why does it matter if it's bad for you? Then you say, I want to be more productive. Why do we want to be more productive? Then you say, I want to be more productive to focus on my dream job. Why do you want to focus on your dream job? And you go as deep as possible till you have your core reason, your core why. If you do this step right now, I guarantee you, relapsing and scrolling or stop scrolling will be so easy, because in your back of your mind you will always have this reason why you don't want to use the app. So do it right now. Find your reason why and then continue to watch this video. So you did, and you found out your why, your foundation. Now you need to critically think about your mindset. Your current mindset isn't helpful to you. I mean, it convinced you to scroll endlessly, to waste hours upon hour. So you need to change your mindset. And I can give you a better mindset. The less scroll mindset. A less scroll mindset is, first of all, you value your time. Then you are productive and you are focused. You realize that the apps aren't beneficial to you, that the apps aren't good for you, and that they only want your time and waste your time because they make money out of it. Use this mindset and stopping scrolling will be easy. How to avoid relapsing even more is you need to have more structure in your life and be more organized. Because if you don't, you have all those time where you kind of are lost of what to do and you are bored. But if you have a plan and a to-do list, you don't have this. You have first of all, with your plan, you have structure in your life, and with a to-do list, every time you feel bored, you can look at your to-do list and you see, oh, I could read or I could study math, and then you feel your boredom. With that, your day feels more productive and you're less likely to scroll. And the last thing to avoid relapsing is you need to find your purpose. Your purpose is basically your core desire, your core reason why you live, why you are on this earth. Maybe it's to pursue a career, maybe it's to have children, maybe it's to be a doctor, something. If you find your purpose in life and you fully focus on your purpose, you don't want to scroll anymore because you realize you waste your time. So find your purpose and make your life better. If you want a full guide on my 5 pillars of scrolling that includes how to fix your mindset, then click the first link in the description below. With that said, have a great day, sleep well, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.